Traditional owners of this land, and I pay my respect to all elders past and to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are part of the Greater Geelong community today. Committee members are advised that this virtual meeting is being recorded and will be published on Council's website. If any committee members lose connectivity within this meeting time, they will be marked as absent for the time they are away. If a quorum cannot be maintained during the meeting due to members losing connectivity, we will adjourn the meeting for 10 minutes to re-establish a quorum. If a quorum cannot be achieved, the meeting will be abandoned. Voting will be a show of hands. Also, to speak to an item, please raise your hand. And we ask that you keep your mic muted when you're not speaking to avoid any background noise, children, dogs, cats. As per the requirement of COVID-19 Omnibus Bill 2020, Part 12, Clause 394, can I ask a show of hands that everyone can both see and hear me and other committee members? Beautiful, thank you. We have quorum. Let's go into Section A, Procedural Matters, Apologies.
We have an apology from Natalie Valentine.
Natalie, thank you. Declarations of interest. None, thank you. Confirmation of minutes of November ordinary meeting. Can I get a mover and a seconder for those that were here for the November meeting? Robin and Brett, all those in favour? It's carried. Matters arising from previous meeting.
There are Neil.
Sorry, Neil, sorry. And correspondence?
Nil.
Nil. And questions is nil.
None received.
None received. Section B, reports.
The budget question, item 6, the budget reflects the decisions made at the November meeting, which include support for the 2021 Oceania Regional Tennis Championships and the 2021 Godspell season at the Palais. The budget also reflects the announcement last week that the 2021 Bay Cycling Classic event won't be proceeding. So we have shown the sponsorship commitment as 0.
Okay, thank you. Sharon's funding applications. Number 7, funding applications. The WUFC Summer of Football, Western United GMHBA Stadium.
Thank you, Councillor Nelson. Yes, so the Western United Football Club will be playing 4 + 1 to be confirmed, a 5th to be confirmed game in season A-League matches at GMHBA Stadium over the summer period. They are seeking to have sponsorship from the City of Greater Geelong over those 4 to 5 matches throughout the year. Each match they're all evening matches. Obviously, with the situation that's arisen in the last 24-48 hours about border crossings, there may be some amendment to the schedule, but I'm going to speak to the schedule as we know it at this point in time, and if there are adjustments because of COVID, then they will be known at a later date. But at this point in time, the schedule is 28th of December, Western United versus Adelaide United, 6th of January versus Macarthur Football Club, which is New South Wales based. 12th of January is versing Wellington Phoenix, an international team from New Zealand. 24th of January, Newcastle Jets, and potentially a 5th game later in the season. The matches are supported by community activations in the week leading up to the games, and there's further information to be provided later in the meeting.
Thank you. Any questions with regard to that before I move that into confidential. No. Oh, sorry, Robin. Unmute yourself, Robin.
I had my thumb up for an agree.
Oh,
I was moving it. I was saying, yep, let's move it.
That's fine. And seconded? Lee, all those in favour? And against? That is carried. Item number 8, the Wild Fighter Boxing Series, round 5.
thank you, Councillor Nelson. Yes, the Wildfighter Boxing Series is an event that is delivered by a ex-fighter, a gentleman by the name of Will Tomlinson, who has created this boxing exhibition season. He has run 4 successful events to date, 3 in Melbourne, 1 in Bairnsdale, and his events are broadcast on Fox Sport, and that's the expectation for round 5 of the boxing series, proposed to be hosted at the Geelong Arena in April this year. It would be broadcast live on Fox Sports, and the main event includes, there's a number of rounds, but the main event includes a professional bout with the current national cruiserweight champion, national champion. It's that current national cruiserweight champion headliner is a former Olympian, a Commonwealth Games silver medalist, by the name of Jason Whiteley, and the event would also include another 6 to 8 preliminary matches prior to the event. It's a Friday night in the round at the Geelong Arena, which, as we know, is a strategic multi-purpose venue for the region, has successfully hosted boxing matches, exhibition boxing matches there before. So I'll hand back to you.
Thank you, Sharon. Can I have a mover and a seconder to move that into confidential, please? Brendan and Brett, all those in favour? Against? That is carried. Section C, further business. I will just start by acknowledging Councillor Eddie Contell, our newest councillor to GME. I should have done that right at the start, Councillor, and I do apologise, but welcome to GME for the first time ever.
Thanks, Councillor Nelson. Appreciate the acknowledgement, and yeah, really looking forward to being involved. As you've said, I've never been involved for the past 9.5 years that I've been a councillor, but I look forward to my term on this occasion. So thank you.
Thank you. Section C, further business. The GME, item number 9, GME proposed meeting schedule for 2021. Thank God, 2021.
Yes, as the committee is aware, traditionally the GME meetings are held on the 3rd Monday of the month between 4 and 6. Committee members currently may join in person, or well, start again. As a delegated committee of council, committee members are obligated to meet in person. At this point in time, as a result of the COVID pandemic, legislation allows for members to attend virtually. That will change over the coming months, and the committee will be advised as we transition back to in-person meetings. Each alternate meeting of the committee is an ordinary public meeting, and each alternate month is open to general public, and each alternate month is a strategic session. The proposed meeting dates provided for endorsement by the committee commence with a strategic meeting on the 18th of January and alternate throughout the year. I understand that there's some members that would like to discuss the time of the meeting, so I'll throw it back to you, Councillor Nelson.
Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, I've had a call from a couple of councillors requesting to make the meeting later at 6 o'clock. So I'd like some feedback from the group, and then we'll vote on that. So sorry to spring that to you straight away, but that's the way the state of play it is at present. The meeting's normally at 4 o'clock and runs till 6, but I've had calls asking it to be at 6. Any comments, questions?
Certainly from my perspective, Ron, I'm one of the councillors that called you. Due to commitments with my day job, getting to meetings at 4 is somewhat challenging. So my request would be that we consider having the meetings later in the day. That would certainly make it a little more achievable under my circumstances. I'm not sure about other councillors or others that are online, but that would be something that I'd like the group to at least consider.
Thanks for that, Eddie. Lee?
If we're going to run if the same 2-hour format, 6 till 8 is getting a bit long in the tooth, can we split the difference and maybe go 5:30?
Okay.
I mean, if it's after business working hours and assuming, we're in or around Geelong, just my brain's not working very well by the time we get to 8 o'clock after a full day of work.
Me either, Lee. I'm also concerned that it's after hours for officers as well. So that is a concern. But we'll leave that for others to decide. Julie? What?
Unmute yourself, Jules.
Yeah, sorry. No, I mean, I'm with Ron. I think that I appreciate the difficulty it is for councillors who are trying to do 2 things, work as well as being a councillor. But I think that does, till 8 o'clock at night, has a big impact on people and family commitments that people may have. And we're going to be making decisions here that are going to have that impact on people who don't have a voice around that. So I think we have to make sure we've got that into consideration. Personally, I've been doing it 9 years. I've been doing it 4 till 6 and it suits me perfectly fine. But I'm happy to make some adjustment, but I'm not sure till 8 o'clock at night. I don't think it's particularly good for those who can't adjust their working day at the beginning of the day and they're till 8 o'clock at night.
Trent?
Thank you, Chairman. Nelson. Yeah, I'm one of the people who would also think along the lines of Eddie. I prefer if we start a little bit later. The daytime hours are becoming fuller and fuller. I do appreciate the consideration that 8 p.m. is a late finish by standards by a lot of people. But in terms of councillors, out of hours are normally where we are expected to work, not during our time. So most of the time we're going to fit it in outside of the daytime, 9 to 5 working hours. I understand if 6 p.m. might be a little late, 5:30 I'd be happy for, but 4 p.m. is quite early in terms of council working hours.
Yeah, thanks, Trent. Yeah, 4:30 is a bit early for me, or it's too early for me because of work. I've had to sign an agreement that I will not conduct council work during that time, so that makes it difficult for me. But it sounds like the majority of people are happy with are okay with 5:30, and that's sort of somewhere in between, I guess. Can we vote on that just for the next? Is there something we can vote on, Sharon, that just does it for a period of 6 months or 3 months and see if everyone's happy with that?
I would expect that we can put it in place and then it can be raised.
How it goes, yeah. I am concerned with finishing late at night at 8 o'clock. I think we need to keep the meeting going a bit faster and try and finish it at 7:30 if we can. I don't know why I've gone dark.
I would, I guess I'd also ask the committee to consider the availability of people making presentations as well as the meetings at the meetings. So as you know, we often have event organisers presenting at the meetings, and so getting often travelling up from Melbourne. A lot of our major events are presentations that come from outside the region. So just being cognizant of that. So maybe 5 or 5:30 is a compromise in the middle of making, I don't know if that is enough of a time difference to make it achievable.
I think if we had presentations, we
Councillor Sullivan, whether 5 or 5:30 helps enough that it's.
I think if we have presentations, could we do it at 5? Sorry, Julie. Julie?
I think this thing about traveling is a thing as well. I mean, I'm really lucky. I only live 5 minutes away from the offices, but not everybody does. And so if we end up finishing at 8 o'clock at night, some people have got some, a bit of a drive on for them to get home. And I think that's for as well as not only people coming who are part of the committee, but also people who may from working for council who will have to attend may also have those issues into that. So could we do a 5 o'clock? Is that, Eddie, is that a difficulty at 5 o'clock?
It would probably be very tight on most occasions. We could try, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. 5:30 would certainly be achievable, but 5 might be a bit tight.
Well, as I said, what if we're having someone speak, we do it at 5. And if we're having an ordinary meeting without someone speaking, it will generally go a bit faster. So presentations 5, no presentations 5:30.
We have to advertise the meeting, so it gets a little complex if we're chopping and changing. I think we just try at 5:30 and see how it goes.
Okay.
I mean, often the meetings, they don't go 2 hours.
No.
So at least that's 5:30 to 7 is.
That was going to be my comment, that often, often the meetings don't go for 2 hours, and maybe we can use the strategic meetings to try and level out the presentations if there are some, so that we try and aim to finish it at 7, or, it might mean that depending on how 5:30 goes, it just means that we can use the meetings more effectively to try and have them for an hour and a half instead of 2 hours in that regard for some people.
Yeah, just be more smart about what our time we're doing. Yeah, agreed.
But I'm flexible. I don't mind at all.
Brent?
Councillor Nelson, I'd be happy to move a motion that we do a 6-month trial from a 5:30 p.m. start, if that'd be amenable.
Okay. Do I have a seconder for that?
I'd be happy to second that.
Yep. Ed. Okay. All those, I move the motion that we start for our meetings in 2021 for a period of 6 months at 5:30 p.m. on the Mondays. I don't know which Monday it is, Sharon. Obviously you do. The last Monday?
It's the Monday of the month, so commencing Monday, January 18.
Yeah. Okay. I put that to the motion, to the vote. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Okay, that's carried.
Thank you, everyone, for your consideration. Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I've got someone snoring beside me. Sorry.
Bit confused for a minute there, Councillor Nelson.
I don't know.
I thought you were going to throw Nick under the bus. I thought, poor Nick.
No. Okay, so the date of the next ordinary meeting is Monday, the 15th of February, 2021. And that is for noting. Okay, I move a motion that the Geelong Major Events close the meeting to the public in accordance with section 66(2)(a) of the Local Government Act 2020 to consider contractual matters. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Robin and Lee. All those in favour? That is carried. Thank you. Just give me a moment to change papers.